Okay, Nick Krauser here from the lovely icy wastes of Newcastle. Let's have a look at this. Lovely, lovely, loving it. Hello, cat. You alright there, mate? Yeah, brilliant. So, I'd like to make a minor announcement. Now, many of you, hopefully, will be familiar with this Daygame Nitro, first edition. However, I'm going to bet that not many of you have heard of this, second edition. And that there is the topic of today's video. I'd like to announce that Daygame Nitro, second edition, is now ready and on sale. So, why did I do a second edition? Well, to be honest, the first edition of Daygame Nitro I did 3 years ago. It was May 2011 that I released it, and I was proud of it. It was a good book, but it was rushed. It was very rushed. I was writing things in the book which I'd only recently learned and implemented and seen success with. They hadn't had time to really bed down into my identity. I hadn't approached things from every angle. So, in a way, it was a bit raw. And then in addition to that, I was in such a rush to get it out that I basically wrote it, got a couple of Daygame friends to have a quick read through it for feedback, and then it was released. There was no copy editing, there was no redrafting. I didn't get any, say, flow charts or art done to explain things. I did the cover myself, I did the layout myself. It looks like it's obviously just formatted in Word. So it's a bit of a crusty document. But it had a great response. Like, people loved it, right? Because it was the first proper Daygame book, and even now, everyone's reading it, sending it to each other, recommending it, and so on. So, on the one hand, the book stood the test of time. Is like the model hasn't changed a lot, and people are following the guidance of Nitro and having success. But on the other hand, the whole thing was just a bit scrappy. So that was always bugging me a little bit, that maybe I could have given the book better polish, made a better effort with it. And then the other thing is, when Mastery came out, Daygame Mastery, I really made a lot of effort on that. And it was 3 years later, there was a lot more information I could put into it. So, with the level of finish of Mastery, which you've probably seen, it just shits all over Nitro. It absolutely shits all over Nitro. Nitro is now like the ugly little brother in the corner. So, I wanted to bring it up to speed. So what I've done with Nitro is I've rewritten it, basically. I've rewritten it. I've kept the core, because the model still works and there's still a lot of value in that. But I've copy edited it, I've rewritten sections, I've reordered sections, I've brought the model up to date with Cutting Edge, which is in Mastery. But I've also kept the intermediate vibe, because Mastery is advanced. Mastery assumes so much prior knowledge and so much experience for you to really handle the concepts and get the value out of it. Whereas Nitro assumes you've just done 100 sets, 200 sets, and you're still a bit of a fool. So it walks you through a lot more carefully, and everything is made simple. In Nitro, it's the same model as Mastery, but if you just go on, click on the part of my blog where it says Daygame model, you actually see the two different models, the Nitro model and the Mastery model. And it's essentially the same thing, but Mastery is 5 times more complicated, because I'm trying to deconstruct everything. Whereas with Nitro, I'm just trying to get you from beginning to end as smoothly as possible. And you can fill in a lot of the more refined details later when you go to Mastery. So, I guess, without further ado, I'd best show you the differences, right? So, let's start with Nitro. Right then. This is actually a bit hard the way I got the camera. Hang on. Okay, I've turned the camera around, that will make it easier. So let's have a quick look through the original Nitro. Right. First thing you probably notice is a fucking shit cover I did myself. Right, so that's basically how it looks. Yeah, I mean, it's alright. It's not too scabby, but It's just a Word document, right? And I must admit, it's a rather large text and rather well spaced to kind of make it look bigger than it is. So anyway, this is 36,000 words you're looking at right now. It's basically just a Word document. Okay, let's have a look at the other note. Now, first thing to notice, relative size, right? Doesn't look a lot there, right? Let's just go to the page count. God, this feels like one of those video game unboxing type things that the total freaks put on YouTube. Right, let's have a look at page count. 167. Right, 167 pages. Let's look at the new Nitro. 172. So first thing you're going to say is, right, it's virtually the same length. No. Look at this. 30,000 more words. Right, you'll see that when I open it up. And then I put some extra things in, like lay reports. I put new chapters, like physical escalation, connection, screening, things like that. So yeah, obviously it's got a lovely cover. Look at that, isn't that nice? Oh, and look who's that. There's me. And there's me. Yep, it's another narcissistic fest for pictures. Though in the book I don't talk so much about me. Right, let's do a little flick through first. That's different, isn't it? So you see I've gone to 2 columns. I've been giving it the Boys Action magazine look. Right, it's got graphics. That's a new chapter there. That's a new chapter. Here's a really long feature projection chat, which is new. This is a completely new chapter. You see I've just done this is nice, alright. Here's one of the lay reports. Looks like Tom's a bit more jacked these days. Right, so I've just made it all a bit tighter. I've fleshed things out. Where I thought there were gaps, I've filled them. And it's all targeted towards the intermediate. Let's say it's assuming you're not ready for mastery. And a lot of the intermediate concepts need to be explained to you. Right, see that's a lot simpler than the mastery model. I think you get the idea. Contents. This is all in the preview on Lulu, you can see the contents page. So that's Nitro. It's now on release. There'll be a link on this video. It's on the same Lulu place that I did Mastery. So currently it's only available in hardback. There will eventually be a paperback and a Kindle, but I don't know when. I've got a bunch of projects lined up that are taking my time, so I've got no idea when I'll get around to it. Could be next month, could be next year. But the hardback's up now. So, who's Nitro for? Who have I written it for? Well, obviously, like Daygame junkies who want to know everything about Daygame are going to love it. Anyone who's been reading Mastery and thinking this is a bit heavy, this is a bit complicated, Nitro is good for you. Anyone who's been scared off and hasn't even read Mastery because you figure, look, I've only done 50 sets, I've only done 100 sets, am I really ready for Mastery? Well, if you're not ready for Mastery, Nitro is that stepping stone. And it's cheaper. It's the initial price I'm putting it out is £40, which I think is around about $60, maybe a bit more. Because it's I wanted to price it relative to the content. It's not as big as Mastery. So hopefully some guys will be reviewing it fairly soon as well, so you can get like a second, third or fourth opinion. But there it is. Nitro is out. I'm proud of this new version, and I think there's a bunch of guys going to get a lot of value out of it.